Well, it is the day after Christmas. It is sometime in the afternoon. I don't care. Um, this is the XTV, the LTG, the BMG, the Casanova of the E Freakazoid podcast of the E Freakazoid Brew. This is also John Spartan, aka the Demolition Man, the baddest man alive who takes no mess, who takes no job. If you want to catch a maniac, you have to send a maniac. This is not either one of those two podcasts. This is a very, very, very special private podcast. If you looked on my Facebook page, you will recognize this lovely young lady here sitting here next to me. Her name is Tanya Gray, and she is my girlfriend. She is the love of my life, and I do love her a whole lot. I know some of my friends and family are going to have questions and things of that nature on how we met, and this, that, and the third, and I'm not going to feel like answering all that shit. So I figured what we would do, with her blessings, of
Of
course,
course.
that we would sit down and we would tell the story of how her and I met and how the relationship is going and how we make each other feel about each other. I figured it'd be better if you heard from both me and her, so it wouldn't be like you're getting one side of the story. So I would ask her, and she has blessed me with the opportunity to do it, and I thank her for that. She was very nice to do that for me. So, but this is not about me. I want to say it right now. This really, you see, honestly, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not even here. Okay, she's the star of the show because if you see my timeline, you see it's all about her. You rarely see me talk anything with me. So I just want to let that be known. She is the star of the show. She is the star of my life. She has made a tremendous impact on me. I don't really think she really realizes how much she has, or maybe I haven't really told her, but she really has done a lot for me. And the one thing I will say I like about her, besides the physical, a lot of physical, a lot of physical. But what I like about her is her smile. I do like that. And also, she, I put in a quote. She has a mouth as dirty as Pimp C, but she's pretty as a model, which means is that she can.
I curse like a sailor. It is what it is. I'm trying to do better, but
She doesn't have to. But what I'm saying, but what I meant by that by saying was is that she can break it down to you in its most rawest form and make you understand it. But when you look at her, you accept it because she's easy on the eye to look at. So you don't necessarily take it to offense, or it's a punch you can receive easily with not a lot of backlash on it. So I've taken 3 minutes to introduce myself and give her introduction. So I'm gonna just basically let her introduce herself and let her give all the information she wants to give before we tell the story on how we actually met. So without further ado,
I am Tanya Gray Young. I don't have as many AKAs and accolades as you have. I don't have all that. But I am Tanya Gray Young, and I am the founder and president of Free Pose, and soon to come to you all, they're free. It's going to be a podcast based upon self help, couples help, marital help, parenting help, and they're free. We're going to do therapy to help people free themselves. So that's my little introduction.
um, you're not gonna confirm if you're my girlfriend. You're not
I did not deny.
What
Why
you,
you? Okay, I am officially Christopher's girlfriend. This is how the story goes.
Okay, now hold on. Time before we get started, ladies and gentlemen. Before we get started,
Mm-hmm.
um, I will hopefully be a guest on her podcast.
Of course.
I'm hoping to be a guest, so you'll be seeing a lot more of my face, and we will be broadcasting live. Sometimes from the great city of Houston, and sometimes from from the great city of Port Arthur, Texas. So we're going to be in between there, and I hope by us talking to each other and by us feeding off each other, we'll be able to give a very, very, very positive outlook to not only help people, but also help ourselves and see where we can improve in our relationship and see where we can help people improve in their relationships with both with their spouses and with children. So I just want to throw that out there before she throws me under the train. So go ahead.
Okay, so if any of you are on Facebook, you know that Facebook now officially has a dating app. I went on a dating app after getting divorced and put in my preferences. Needless to say, I had no luck with my preferences. They recently started this new feature that allows you to put your preferences on hold for 72 hours. And it gives people who you are their preference the opportunity to view your profile. The first heart I got was from Chris. He looked up right there. So,
Oh, I admit I got lucky. Oh, I meant that wholeheartedly. I'm not gonna say it was the skill, it was the swag, it was whatever. That was pure D luck, and I let it was luck, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, don't so. I'm not gonna brag. Okay, I'm not gonna brag and say we know I just happened to be. No, no, it was luck. It was luck.
okay, so after chatting back and forth with each other, I grew tired of texting thing. So I gave Christopher my phone number and I told him he could call me. And he did. And the conversation did not go well at all.
Yeah, our initial conversation was not. It wasn't what we. I'm not. It's not what we expected.
I think the thing is that we did not indulge each other in the pleasantries and the phonetries that people usually do on dating apps.
Yeah, we both kind of got like right to the point, like right off the most.
Yeah.
It was kind of like I called her, she didn't answer, and then I waited like till that morning, and then I called her back that morning. And we was talking that morning. It was like, hello, must be Tanya. This Tanya. Well, hey, this Chris from Facebook. Oh, okay, how you doing? I'm doing all right. And then for no, it's kind of just like, all right, so so far it's like, okay, we didn't do any of that.
We didn't do any of that. It was straight full throttle. Like,
Okay.
I don't have time to play with you.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna pretend with you. It is who it is who it is, and I am who I am. So Christopher posed the question of when in a relationship, everything should be 50-50.
And I did. I admit it.
And I had to correct Christopher because that is not how that is supposed to go. So he did not understand. So needless to say, we debated. I said what I had to say. Christopher said what he had to say. And needless to say, at the end of the conversation, we hung the phone up, and you thought what?
Initially, I thought this girl out of rabbit ass mind. Ain't no sign for that shit. I'm like, look, it's the 2000s. Both we in these dual incomes, to make a household run. You know what I'm saying? And it was not. I wasn't on board with it at first. I'm gonna be completely honest because going by my background, I had two parents that worked, and that allowed me and my brother to have a lot of different experiences that I felt wouldn't have been available to us had it only been my father working or my mother working. So that's why I was strong, and I'm still strongly saying that there has to be dual incomes coming into the household, or better yet, well, I'll just say dual income. It doesn't necessarily mean that she necessarily has to work, or there's more money coming into the household. Whether it being one stream income, it needs to be multiple streams of income so you can afford to do certain things and to expose your children to certain things rather than just having them exposed to just a certain way of life. Because we both can agree, because we were both born and raised in the community of Acres Homes.
Mm-hmm.
So we do realize that, you know, in the streets, if you don't have something for your kids to do, the streets will find something for them to do.
Right.
So it's good to have your children involved in different programs that expose them to different things other than just the community around them.
Correct.
So that's why I was adamant why I said what I said.
And here was my take on the whole thing. Was that I think a man is supposed to do all the heavy lifting.
But I also want to interrupt and say it. She did now the way she's talking was not the way the conversation went.
It was early. I was asleep.
Okay.
I felt like he was coming for me, like off with her head kind of thing.
It was not that friendly, okay, for real. No, go ahead.
I was dry because number one, I did not like the premise of his thought. I didn't like the way he portrayed the premise of his thought. And I basically hung the phone up thinking, okay, well, that's one less. Next, like, I ain't missed nothing. No waste of time. It was a 17-minute conversation, if it was that long.
If that.
It was like, I didn't waste 17 years of my life or 17 months of my life, you know, on somebody who was not on the same page as me. So I was like, okay, cool. Next. However, I had a question about podcasting. So I text him to ask, how do I get started in this thing?
But the one thing she's leaving out, there's one thing she left out.
Which one?
We were still texting each other.
Oh yeah.
Even though it didn't go the way we wanted it to go.
Right.
I was still like, I would text her every now and again.
And I will respond.
She will respond, and I think what really got my attention, this is the part that I didn't tell you.
Okay.
I figured I'd tell you now so we get a general reaction. What happened is that I was talking to a co-worker of mine at work.
Mm.
And I went into work and I was really frustrated about the conversation that we had. I was just like, man, what the fuck is wrong with these women out here? What the hell? This is not fucking 1930 and 40. So I was talking to her, and she was I guess what the term young people say, old school. But we sat down, we had to talk. And she was like, Christopher, have you looked at things from the woman's point of view? Have you ever really sat down and really look at the woman's point of view? And I had to be honest with myself, say, no. I had always come from what someone says it's called a selfish place. Seeing my point of view and my point of view only.
Oh, right.
So when that happened, and the reason why I received it so well is because she didn't scold me. She didn't say, you know, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. What she said was, she said, I understand where you're coming from. I understand your mindset. He said, but sometimes as people, we need to stop looking at where we're coming from and see where the person that we're talking to is seeing their point of view so we can all get a better understanding. And I was like, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. And while I was at work, I reviewed the conversation. It was rough. They say steel sharpens steel.
Iron sharpens iron.
Iron sharpens, well, whatever. Something sharpens whatever, but it's still sharpened. And I was like, I can see where I came off kind of rough, you know. But that's generally just my exterior. I want, you know, so I text her, and she texts back, and we talk, whatever. And I remember one time I texted her, she was like, what did you have for lunch? And I was like,
chicken and rice.
Yeah, I said I made chicken and rice. She said, oh, okay, that's nice, that's good. Nice chicken and rice, nice meal, you know. Then I text back, well, since I don't have no one to cook for me, or somebody can cook real quick and I can still lay down and go to sleep and, and still get some rest and still go to work. I said, okay. She's like, okay, well, that's nice. She says, well, you go ahead and lay down and, and text me, when you get up. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I laid down, got up, texted her, whatever. We talked for a little bit because she was at work. So we really couldn't, you know. So then I remember getting up, I made it, whatever, and got it all ready, rushed out the house. But I was hungry because I didn't eat no breakfast. Like I literally I made my lunch and I went and laid down. So of course I stopped at my favorite spot because I got coupons, which is Burger King. And by the way, Burger King does have coupons that are very affordable. Okay, you can feed a family for under $20.
We better get an
you can feed a
endorsement for
family.
this. Like we need more.
Well, hopefully we will when this comes out. But anyway, the point is, so I texted when I got to work, and she said, "Did you bring your lunch?" I told her, "Yeah, I brought it," and we text whatever, and then that was it. Um, got off of work, came home. I had like a 1 hour turnaround, but I texted her, let her know, like, "Hey, I made it home. How's your night going?" So we just kept on, and she asked me, "Well, what are you taking for your lunch when you go to the other job?" I'm like, "Well, I'm not taking nothing." And after that, we texted a little bit more, and then she said she was getting tired, and I was like, okay. We wished each other good night, and she went to sleep. I went to work. Now, while I was at work, I was replaying the more filter parts of our conversation, and I was like, I really started to understand what she was saying, and I started to not only did I start to listen, hear what she was, I started to understand it. Instead of me using that filter part where I'm looking for what I want to hear, I really listened to what she was saying, and I realized, you know what, I might have been a little
Abrupt.
I'm a little abrupt, a little harsh.
Harsh.
So I was like, okay, but I'm not gonna apologize though, because once I said her delivery was not what it is now, people. Okay, so I'm gonna take my pound of flesh on this one. I'll take it, but like I said, on my defense, this not the no.
At the time, I felt like I'm gonna just put it out there because I was always taught I'd rather you punch me with the truth than kiss me with a lie. So at the time that I did deliver, I will admit that I gave no standing behind the premise of my thought. Because fast forwarding, when the subject came up again, I gave a standing behind the premise of my thought, which made it easier for you to understand why I felt like that.
True. Now, she did send me a text message asking me about podcasts. And like I said, I do have my own podcast, the Two Bulls, One Mic podcast. We're on Instagram. Look it up. Two Bulls, One Mic podcast, Instagram. I was doing that episode with my good friend, Paul Holman. I was doing it with him, and I got finished with it, and I called her on my way home, and we're talking, and she told me, what she wanted to do and her actual vision, her actual thought of it, whatever. And I thought, okay, yeah, that's cool. And I basically said for her how to start on podcast, the things she might need. Like, you don't need a lot of stuff. You just basically don't need a lot. And I basically said to her I said, and I think your podcast will do great because you are helping people and giving people a voice who really need one. And the place where you're coming from is from a good place. And that sparked a 6-hour conversation. We sat on the phone for 6 hours and we talked about everything you could talk about.
Right.
And
pause. Initially, I'm the mother of 7. So initially,
I thought all 7 kids
he thought all 7 kids lived in my house. And that him dating me meant that he was going to have to take care of me, him, and 7 children.
Including my daughter.
Okay.
And sometimes Mariah, her older sister Mariah. So
that's 11 people.
That's 11. Now, I also want to say this much either. How old do you think my girlfriend is? Don't worry, I'll wait. Give up?
I am 47 years old. I can understand that he might have thought that I got like
Now.
stair steppers of 7 kids.
Now, all right, ladies and gentlemen, she's 47 years old. She
Yes.
doesn't look it.
Thank you.
She doesn't look 47. Even sometimes I got to remind myself she's 47. Now, y'all know me. I'm 42. So that means what? We have a
5 years.
5-year age difference, which in essence really isn't much. But however, I like to joke by saying I have a MILF, I have a GILF, and I have a cougar all rolled into one. So I kind of have like every man's fantasy all rolled into one. You know, that's, but you're right. And as we further delve into the conversation and she started naming like how old she was when she started having children, whatever. And about the time we got to the point where we're here now, she's 47, and out of the 7 that she has, only 2 live with her. So that was like one of those, oh, okay.
The other 5 are grown and gone
and out the house. So now it's like, all right, we got 2. Okay, this I can handle. All right,
you can handle 6 people.
Yeah, okay. 6. No, now that's a rational number. Okay, me, her, Mariah, Liana, Lysandra, Duke.
Yeah, that's 6.
That's it. People, come on now. Hey, don't look at me like that. That's a number y'all can work with. Now, let's keep. Okay, I mean, all right.
6 really does sound better than 11.
No, I mean, like I said, I'll take my pound of flesh for me being a possible ass or whatever. I admit it, but we gonna tell the truth. The truth may not be pretty,
but it is what it is.
We gonna tell the truth. All right, now you can continue.
Okay, so my children, I have 7 children, ranging in age from 35 to 12. This is why I say a man should do all the heavy lifting. And when I say heavy lifting, I don't just mean physical heavy lifting. I also mean financially. And here's why. Typically in the household, when children come home, they walk right past their father. A father can go to work and come home, and children will pass him right on by. He can go in the room and close the door. They'll never knock on the door.
Unless you have a daddy's girl like I have.
But when you're a mother, you have to cook, clean, go to work, come home, tend to children. Your children don't care that you need a moment to yourself, a moment when. They don't care that you're in the bathroom. They will come in the bathroom and talk to you. They will come in the shower and talk to you. They will wake you up and talk to you. So here's the thing. Since typically men want a woman to be soft and nurturing, provide for her a place where she can be soft and nurturing. I am not going to go to work and work 60 hours in a week and then come home and deal with children and feed you. And then when you decide that you want to be intimate, you think I got time and energy.
We don't have to say intimate here. We can say the word fucking. Okay.
In case my pastor gets the chance, I did not say that.
Okay. Pastor. What's her name?
Nico.
Okay.
Apostle.
Okay.
That was not me.
Okay. Apostle Nico. I am a heathen.
Oh.
Okay.
We're gonna work on that too. So we're gonna work on that. We're gonna work
facts.
It is impossible. It is not rational for a person to think that you're gonna go and you're gonna wear all these hats, and at the end of the night, you want me to strip down naked and be what you want me to be.
Facts.
That is not realistic. You want to know why you said what, 1930s? In the 1930s, I bet you your great-grandfather was happy with his wife and she did not work because she had time and energy to breakfast, lunch, dinner, and kids and him.
Okay, but then again, the price of milk was cheap.
How about this? It's too many people buying milk and not buying the cow. Because if
Okay.
you get the cow and you take proper care of her, you're always going to get milk. You can, even a cow, you take an animal and put it in a stressful situation, even the milk will draw up in a cow. A chicken will not lay eggs. It's the same thing with women. You put us in a stressful situation, there is going to be something, there is going to be some part of us that's going to dry up. It's not like it's done, it's not something that's done on purpose. It's just something that happens. It's going to dry up.
Okay. Now, and with that, okay, there's no need to keep throwing me under the train.
I'm just saying.
But okay.
If you allow a woman the time and the space, if you allow her the time and the space, then you will get that. People,
Okay.
a lot of women have been given this stigma of angry black woman syndrome. But we get to the point where we're clapping our hands and all men are the same and y'all don't get it and y'all don't understand. And we become kind of harsh. We become kind of hard in our nature. And we do that because we're not allowed to be soft. We're not put in situations where it's okay for us to be vulnerable.
Okay, and I understand that point. And when once she explained it this way rather than the other way, I saw where she was coming from. I did.
Okay.
I did see where she was coming from. Now, okay. So, but I told her, in my experiences, when I was promised something like what she's talking about, it was never fulfilled. So therefore, I was kind of on the fence about it. I understand what she's saying, and she's right. She's right. She's right because the time she's down here visiting, because right now we're broadcasting from Houston, we're in my apartment. From the time she has been here, I have got everything she's told me. Everything she has told me, she has lived up to. I've come home from work with a meal waiting on me. I've went to work with meals that my coworker look at me like, what you got over there? I mean, I'm talking about baked rice. I'm talking about baked chicken, rice, and brown sugar beans. I'm talking about chicken and dumpling. I'm talking about spaghetti. I'm talking about waking up Christmas morning, French toast, eggs, sausage, applewood bacon, people. Applewood. I want you to mull over that about what I'm saying. Applewood bacon. Okay, you pay extra for applewood bacon when you go to Chili's and TGI Friday. I woke up Christmas morning with the thick cut, not the thin cut. Okay, the thick cut of applewood bacon, French toast, sausages, and eggs. Now, damn it, if I can get that and all I gotta do is provide her a soft place, fine. You win, ma'am. You win. I'll do it. Now I'm not gonna go too far in the physical department, whatever, but I'm just saying, come home and she's wearing something very motivational, you know. Yeah, I put on, look, everything I'm saying is on my Facebook timeline, whatever. So it's on there. So if you're on okay. So yeah, so for that alone, I'll do that lift. I'll pay the mortgage. But let's make sure it's a mortgage that I can afford to pay.
Of course.
So we're not right here to pay Paul.
Okay.
And I think that's another thing too, that once again, I'm going to me here, that I really didn't really let her explain. Because when she explained to me, she said, okay, we can do this, we can work together, so therefore the mortgage will be at a number where you can afford it, where you won't be so stressed out. I looked at a point to where, as well, like I said, I was being selfish. and I wasn't allowing her to fully explain. But what she was saying was, is that she's going to put it in a way to whereas we could still live and have a life and be a family to do all those wonderful things, but it will also let her be the softer, kinder, still dirty mouth version of her, and for her to woo and take care of me like she wants to, and she won't be so stressed out. But it allowed me to do the majority of the heavy lifting, but it'll be easier on me. So and let's do that together. So in essence, we have the same thought process. We have the same thought process, same beliefs. We just
I'm not good at explaining myself. I really just be like, I say what I say, and then I don't give an explanation behind it. But I also realize that, you don't know me. So for you not to know me, an explanation should have been something I automatically did, but I didn't. So I'll take the fade for that because I did not explain myself. But also, you did not ask the correct question.
and you know what? That's true. And I will say this: I've always said that, and I do believe it. I got this from the movie I, Robot. It's not about asking questions. It's about asking the right questions. And
Right.
I didn't ask the right question. So
Right.
once again, this is just a way to say to everyone, it can start off one way, but it can go another way. And if two people who are like-minded really sit down and have an open and honest conversation with each other with no egos, no nothing, just talk to each other, it could blossom into something that we have right now, which is a beautiful, healthy relationship. And it can definitely help you become the better version of you, and also help you find someone who wants you to be the better version. We haven't been dating long, so it's not like we're coming from like years.
Yeah, it's
years
still
of
like
dating.
the honeymoon stages.
Yeah. It's right now. It's the water's still wet and blue. But I figure we do one here, and I say what, maybe another year or so we do another one. Just me and you celebrating our 1 year anniversary,
Of course.
which is
December the 18th.
so. Therefore, I can't forget because it is one day after. May he rest in peace and rest in heaven. My father's birthday, which is December 17th. So that's definitely a day I won't forget.
Right.
Because after one great man was born, now we have a great relationship. So those 2 days, so definitely some days I'll never forget. So she's been down here visiting, and it's been a good visit. There's been a few bumps in the road.
Just one bump.
Just one bump. I thought, I'm be honest with you people, I thought she was gonna leave. I thought she was gonna break up with me. But she's still here, she's still smiling, so it's not that bad.
It's real easy to find yourself in a place where we as people, we need to stop putting up the facade of what we think people want us to be and just be who we are.
Yeah, I definitely.
Because I know the voices that I know, we both hear voices in the back of our head.
Yeah, we do.
So my voice is particularly based upon the perception of I refuse to let anybody get over on me. So I look at everything with scrutiny, and I have a tendency to be very sarcastic in how I handle situations. And you, on the other hand, the voices that speak to you, or they usually knock you